Good afternoon and welcome to the Papare as we bring you live pictures here from the Race Course Stadium of the first semi-final of the Clifford Cup 2024, the Nippon Paint Clifford Cup, where the Cup champions of the league stage, CR&FC, taking on the plate champions, Police Sports Club. It's looking beautiful out here in the race course. Sun is beating down as we expect some good faster playing rugby. Clifford Cup Knockout Rugby Championship 2024 as Police Sports Club, the Cops taking on the Reds. It's a clash of two silverware winners from the recently concluded league, Club Rugby League, the Nippon Paint Club Rugby League, where CR&FC clinched the League Cup after 26 years, beating Candy Sports Club in that league decider. And on the other hand, we have Police, the Cops, who recently concluded season engaged as the plate champions. So it's all to play here at the race course as both these teams will want to reach that all-important final and get the better of it. And as we see the weather forecast today, it's hot and humid as a maximum temperature of 37 degrees, a minimum temperature of 21 degrees, and a wind speed not much, 9 kilometers per hour, and the game will be mostly sunny. So it's gonna be quite an interesting game down here at the at the race course, as the Cops will want to get into that final, and the Reds will want to try and complete their double in this season's club rugby. And we will go into a short commercial break and be back with the lineups and the live action. Stay tuned with the Papare.
ඉන්දිය ආධිපත්‍ය බිඳලීමට එන ඉංග්‍රීසීන්. ඉංග්‍රීසීන්ට පසු නොබසින ඉන්දියානුවන්. එංගලන්ත කණ්ඩායමේ ඉන්දීය සංචාරය ටෙස්ට් තරඟ 5කින් සමන්විත ද්වන්ද්ව සංග්‍රාමයේ ආශ්වාදය. පෙබරවාරි 2 වෙනිදා සිට මාර්තු 11 වෙනිදා දක්වා සජීවීව ThePapare TV සහ Dialog ViU app ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
145th Battle of the Blues. Royal versus St. Thomas's. 7th, 8th, 9th March at SSE. Live on the Papare TV HD, Dialog ViU app and thepapare.com. Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
Start another super rugby season.
Live on the Papare TV and Dialog ViU app, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
Youth එකට සෙට් වෙන්න ඔයාලත් කැමතිද? Youth Plus.
ThePapare TV, ThePapare TV HD, Dialog Television නාලිකා අංක 63 සහ 126 ඔස්සේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
I believe the right house is like a soulmate. When the right one comes along, it's magic.
Welcome home, Susan.
There's something in the house making it hard for us to sell, and we make it go away.
Run as fast as you can.
Is there anything else that I need to know?
Real Estate Season 2.
Real estate is exciting, isn't it?
on Rock Entertainment. ඉන්දිය ආධිපත්‍ය බිඳලීමට එන ඉංග්‍රීසීන්. ඉංග්‍රීසීන්ට පසු නොබසින ඉන්දියානුවන්. එංගලන්ත කණ්ඩායමේ ඉන්දීය සංචාරය ටෙස්ට් තරග 5කින් සමන්විත ද්වන්ද්ව සංග්‍රාමයේ ආශ්වාදය. පෙබරවාරි 2 වෙනිදා සිට මාර්තු 11 වෙනිදා දක්වා සජීවීව ThePapare TV සහ Dialog ViU app ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
ඔයාලගේ කම්පැනි එකේ, ඔයාලගේ ක්ලබ් එකේ, ඔයාලගේ ස්කූල් එකේ යූත් එකට සෙට් වෙන ඕනම ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් The Papare TV එකෙන් මුළු ලංකාවටම පෙන්වන්න අපි ලෑස්ති. ඔයාලත් ලෑස්තිද? අපිට කතා කරන්න.
ThePapare TV, ThePapare TV HD, Dialog Television නාලිකා අංක 63 සහ 126 ඔස්සේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
The history maker of sport. Innovative, incomparable, unleashing an experience. The Papare TV. On the Papare TV and the Papare TV HD. On channel number 63 and 126. Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
It's quite an atmosphere. Rugby's greatest championship. Ball to Sachs. Smith must be for the away goal. This time, go Scotland. Good work from Duhan van der Merwe. This is astonishing. That is a moment.
119th Lovers Quarrel. Richmond versus Mahinda. 15th and 16th March at Galle. Live on Dialog TV channel 127, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Catch the action of the Sri Lanka Tour of Bangladesh 2024 live. Enjoy 3 T20 matches, 3 ODI matches and 2 Test matches from 4th March to 3rd April. Live on Dialog Television, ThePapare TV. Dialog, the official sponsor of the national cricket team. England back to conquer India? Or will India wield their might? The cricketing showdown of the year. England takes on India in an epic test series that promises passion, rivalry and unforgettable moments. England Tour of India, 2nd February to 11th March. Live on the Papare TV and Dialog ViU app, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
Come on everyone, let's make some noise with our loudest cheer for this momentous day.
Let's go. Tata Women's Premier League starts February 23rd. Live on the Papare TV HD and Dialog ViU app, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Royal versus St Thomas's, 47th Mustangs Trophy. 16th March at SSE. Live on the Papare TV HD, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
මාර්තුවේ උන්මාදය. සූදානම්ද බිග් මැච් වසන්තයට. පෙබරවාරි 24 දා සිට සජීවීව ThePapare TV, ThePapare TV HD, Dialog ViU app සහ ThePapare.com ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
First and exclusive.
I've been here 2 days and I've been almost murdered twice. That's one per day.
What is going on?
I train you to become warriors, but you have never faced anything like this.
If you can give me the location, I can get him out of the country.
It's too dangerous.
Where is everyone?
We're gonna have to figure this out.
Who the hell are they?
I work for Dracula.
What? You're like the guy that gets the villain's Postmates.
That's it.
First and exclusive. All new on Saturdays.
Thurston versus Isipatana. 44th limited overs encounter. 17th March at Pisara. Live on the Papare TV HD, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
මාර්තුවේ උන්මාදය සූදානම්ද බිග් මැච් වසන්තයට පෙබරවාරි 24 දා සිට සජීවීව ThePapare TV, ThePapare TV HD, Dialog ViU app සහ ThePapare.com ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
St Sebastian's versus Prince of Wales. 39th one-day encounter. 10th March at Pisara. Live on the Papare TV HD, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය ක්‍රීඩා විකාශනයේ මෙතෙක් අත් නොවිඳී නව්‍යතම අත්දැකීම් සමගින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව. ThePapare TV, ThePapare TV HD, Dialog ටෙලිවිෂන් නාලිකා අංක 63 සහ 126 ඔස්සේ විඳින්න නරඹන්න ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
Let's get it.
Welcome back to the live action here from the Racecourse International Stadium for the first semi-final between the league champions CR&FC and the plate champions Police Sports Club. So you see both teams out for the introductions and the pre-game formalities. Coming to the combox. Good afternoon, Shanaka.
Good afternoon, Rashwan. Big game for Police to try and prove that their plate championship was not a flash in the pan and that they have what it takes to be in this cup championship, and what better way than to meet the title holders CR&FC, who are represented by Kevin Srivikum, Kodagoda, Dilshan Jaya. Shanal Adhikaram starts today alongside the captain Soiru Anthony, Adish Virutunga Samit Vannakolasuri and Ravin De Silva. So a rejigged third row. Anjana De Costa will start, Kavinda De Costa will start at number 9. Tenukanaya Kara will remain at 10. Iranga Arepala comes back into the left wing position. Manika Ruberu is paired up again with Randy Silva, who he started the season with. Gamanu Chetia and Zubair Dure, who both performed so well in that league match, will be in the back three. Gunasinghe, Darling, Seranayaka, Silva, Srikanth, Kalaniyagoda, Amanit and Tarindu. are hit by quite a few injuries to their front row players, so that's going to be a factor to look out for as this game goes on.
And the Police Sports Club formation will be Hafiz Thabit, Deshan Fernando, Amjad Faumi, Uday Sanjula, Muhammad Wimala Ratna, Lahiru Tilakaratna, Shanaka, Harish Chandra and Vihanga Pivitru will form as the forwards, and the backs Danushka Primesh, Prince Chamar, Sujan Kodituaku, Hiranta Pereira, Akash Madhushankar, Sachit Silva and Shane Hopwood will form the backs as replacements. Idris Surya, Fernando Hiroshan, Kanishka, Shavin, Jai Singh and Hapugoda and Madhushankar will form the replacements for Police Sports Club.
This is the semi-final of the Clifford Cup Championship, the tournament that is the oldest in Sri Lanka, and it has been played on this ground, of course, before the ground became a race course and then came back to being an international rugby ground. And CR&FC in the red will be taking on Police, who are playing not in their traditional blue but have moved to white jerseys today for this semi-final game. You're live on ThePapare.com and on Papare TV as we wait for Gihan Yadavara to kick off the semi-final of the Clifford Cup tournament.
Tenukonana kicks things off as Madhushankar safely under the ball.
Initial break from Police. Lots of expectations from this Police team, who are the plate champions, finishing in 5th place in the league overall. And will be wanting to show that they're deserving of a place in the top 4. And will definitely start well. That's a nice interplay from their forwards. Nilufar Ibrahim will be hoping his forwards can match CR&FC today, because the back division seems to be a little bit overshadowed in that respect. Big kick from Prince Chamara. And Murshid Zubair looking to put some air on the ball and get his mate Gamunu Chaitya into the action as soon as possible. First possession for CR. And through Tenukonana Kara, flying up in defense was Police. That was a wonderful tackle. Nice chop tackle as well. Tenukonana Kara again in position. Finds Silva. There's a bit of space opening up on the fringes of the ruck as CR go through Adhikaram. And onto the blind side immediately goes De Costa. Adisha Veeratunga hanging out on the tram lines. Here's Ravin De Silva playing at number 8 today, but he's got 7 on his back. Won't stop him from making a huge break. And a lovely ball, he gets away as well to Venura Kodagoda, and now quick ball again for CR. Stepping in was Venura Kodagoda. And the penalty is coming. And let's see what CR try to do here. They had some good momentum, 2 great half breaks from the back rowers again, who are proving to be a little hot to handle. And immediately going for the points. Thought that might be something that they think about, and perhaps go for the corner early on. Try and settle some nerves with a try.
But the Reds have opted to go for points, as Manilko Ribeiro will have the responsibility to add the 3 points for the league champions.
Interesting first choice of kicker. Tenukonana Kara scored almost 60 points in the league with his kicking. But somehow, off the field, he has not been the go-to man. Did miss a few kicks. Manilko Ribeiro has been on target. Better than most of the regular kickers, and that's why he's preferred, and that's why he puts CR also in the lead. 3 points to 0 in the 3rd minute of this semi-final.
CR&FC draw first blood. Going into the game as favourites, it was expected. Good kick from the tee from Manilko Ribeiro, as Police backpedaling in the opening 3 minutes. Good restart.
Nicely taken by Akash Madhushankar, who has easily been the most dangerous Police back all season, although Hiranta Pereira has scored a lot of tries. And here he is, Pereira, looking for the space. CR&FC just relaxing there. Lahiru Tirakaratna takes it into the 22. Coming back onto the blind side. That was Prince Chamara taking it in to contact against his old club. Still going. Police have got their tails up now. They're very close to the line. They can sense something. Mohan Vimalaratna at the back, the captain, trying to direct proceedings. He would love a try. It looks like Yatavara has his arm up for advantage for the Police team. They're inching closer to the line, inching closer to the posts as well. And that's a try for Police. Scored by their big prop Hafiz Thabit. Only a matter of time once they got into that 5-meter mark. These police players are ever ready for a scrap close to the line. And they managed to get their body positions right. And Hafiz Thabit goes in for the first try of the game.
Brilliant starter from police. And then from there on it was job for the forwards to finish as the police get the first try in this semi-final. And mostly trusted with the kicking tee for the Cops. Prince Charmer steps up to add the 2 points.
It all started from that kickoff, wasn't it, Rashwan? Really good thinking from Charmer. As the kick goes slightly wide of the left hand upright, he would be disappointed with that. They would have liked a 4-point lead instead of a 2-point lead. But it started with the kickoff. Akash Madhushankar running onto it nicely. He's been one of the standout players in this police team. Their midfield has combined well. And see how that was a wake-up call for them. Can't afford to take this semi-final easy.
Police coming off with that play championship win. So they're high on confidence as not the best of restarts from CR&FC as it goes out on the full. So it will be middle of the pitch scrum in favor of the Cops.
Well, 2 restarts now that have been botched by CR. And in the dugout, Coach Leuke will not be very happy about that, because whether you're taking the restart or receiving the restart, you really do have to make sure you get things right. And the wind, which is a factor at this ground, may have affected Tenukananayakkara. Also the visibility of the touchlines, not something that most of these players are used to in the smaller grounds that they practice. So first scrum of the game. And police have it. Lovely little show of the ball infield from Hiranta Pereira. Holding it up nice and strong. Available again for police on the open side. The forwards acting as scrum half there. Silva space opening out now for Sachit Silva. Bust up the middle by Amjad Faumi. It's lost forward, so referee Atawara will come back for an advantage he was playing. No arms in the tackle seems to be the call that was made by the referee, and we have a little bit of an injury worry for one of the police players.
Captain.
It's good time for the Reds to settle down. They haven't started off like they would like to.
Penalty happened before this, of course. Amjad Faumi with the big run and a flailing tackle on him.
Block tackle.
Looks like that's Sachit Silva for the Cops, but he's back on his feet. As the Police Sports Club, Prince Charmer opted for the kick in tee to go for points. Quite an ambitious move, Shanaga. Missed quite a regulation opportunity with that conversion.
Yes, this is a good 40 meters out, but I think he's got the wind at his back, so probably fancies his chances of getting this the distance. Not the most pedigreed kicker in the competition, but getting an extension of this lead. That's plenty of distance, and there it is. A great kick from Prince Charmer. And that'll do his confidence and Police's confidence a world of good. Had absolutely no problem getting that over with plenty to spare.
Indeed, Shanaga. And CR Once again, a 5-point difference. Pressure on the champions. It's Police Sports Club on the move, and Tenuka Nanakara with the restart.
That's a better kick from Tenuka. Immediately cleared away to touch. And that's a good exit from Police, taking play almost up to the 50-meter mark. That's a really good kick from Prince Chamara himself. Has been pretty good in this opening 8 minutes or so.
Koda good to take the throw-in for the Reds.
10 meter, please.
It's the first line out of the match, so it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Police through Mohan Vimalaratna. Pretty good at the defending lineouts, but Ravin De Silva takes this one in the middle. Ruberu puts it back, and they get it across to Murshid Zubair. Cutting back infield is Aryapala. Nice little switch of play between the fullback and the left winger. And now it's available for CR, but Police's defense really flying up. And CR spotting that, putting the little kick in, but it was flying up illegally. Offside in the defensive line. Here we are. That was the player who had a bit of an early start.
CR&FC have the cushion of having 3 kickers in that lineup, as Manilka Ruberu kicks for the post, and Murshid Zubair kicking it to touch. And for the restarts, they have the likes of Tenuka Nanakara.
Well, it's a big ground, a good 35 meters perhaps to the touchline from the center. So that's why Zubair doesn't get as much distance on that in terms of the touchline, but he has to make it to the touchline to begin with. You can see the wind is pretty strong, and Kodagore does well to adjust to it. Taking that forward strongly was Dilshan Jaya, but not rolling away, so he wins the penalty for his team. It'll be interesting to see what CR opt to do here. Yes, they've gone for the posts again from almost the identical position, maybe a few meters infield from where Manilka Ruberu kicked his last kick. So they seem to be going for the kicking option. They're against the wind, so it's interesting to see that they have picked that.
Yes, Shanaga once again. Ruberu trusted with the kicking tee for CR&FC.
So CR coming off a bye in the first round. They didn't play a quarter-final. Police did. And that's why they're looking a little bit more urgent, looking a little sharper. That 80 minutes of rugby under their belt, and CR have had a training week. And Ruberu's kick is good as well, so he's been on target twice in the opening 8 minutes, and it's 8 points to 6. Police in the lead.
Shanak, as you said, Police came into the semi-final with a hard-fought win against Yafo Sports Club, 29 points to 7. Police are in confidence, but they are playing the champions. As Prince Chamra restarts things.
It's a rare mistake by Kaminduri Costa, but it's gone backwards, so no damage done. Gamunu Chetia runs it out of trouble. And fortunately, Ravin De Silva can't get out of the way of his own player. Shanal Adhikaram running into his flanker, and that creates an obstruction, and an accidental offside is the call for referee Atavara, and Police will take the scrum.
in their own 22. It's time for CR&FC to defend this. They are missing a lot of players in that pack. Senator Pereira nursing an injury, and we don't see the likes of the number 8 as well, Asindu Ishan, for CR&FC. This will be a good test.
The first scrum was well held by Police, but CR will put the pressure on. Coming off the back is Haris Chandra, running across the field. Can't get the ball away, so he's actually lost a bit of ground to the number 8. Shane Hopwood is a man who is compelled to take this one. And that's a long blast from Gihan Yatavara. What has he spotted? Might have been an injury that he spotted to Lairu Tilakaratna. It's a flank on the floor. There's certainly no high tackle there because nobody was upright. But interesting to see whether we can see that replay as figure out what happened, where the injury was.
Just a penalty only, but I have a responsibility to environment right? Okay. High tackle.
Lairu Tilakaratna is back on his feet. So it's good to see. No problems there. So he goes maybe head on head with Adisha Veeratunga. That's probably where the injury occurred, but all the protocols have been done and Tilakaratna is fit to play.
Heads up.
So Vihanga Puduru, who is at number 8. Not Shanaka Harishchandra, my apologies.
Set. Steady, please. You stay bound.
It looks like he will come off the back again.
Stay bound, stay bound, stay bound.
In fact, they've gone to the open side, moving it quickly. Little chip kick put in by Shane Hopwood, and it bounces beautifully into the hands of Sachin Silva, who can't hold it. And that was another try for Police if that ball had been a little less slippery.
Good thinking from the youngster Shane Hopwood. If that collection was clean, Police would have gone over for their second touchdown. Nevertheless, it's an opportunity for CR&FC to get out of jail through this scrum.
Yes, good defensive read there from Shane Hopwood. He saw where everyone was, realized that Murshid Zubair had come up to defend and found the space behind him. And that's where Imanka Aryapala really needs to make that long run around, or Kavindu Di Costa, to make sure that they're covering that chip kick. And I'm sure whoever is going to play in the final from the other side, we'll be looking at both these teams, looking at the tactics they're employing. We have another semi-final coming up tomorrow. Reshwan, Havelocks taking on CH. They'll be watching this semi-final anxiously. At the moment, quarter of the game gone, Police leading. This is well done by Police, holding up the player, and Murshid Zubair in the pocket manages to find touch, and it's a good kick as well.
Yes, indeed. Good clearance kick coming in from the former Wesleyite, Murshid Zube. Police have really started off this game well, putting some pressure on the champions. And that line out throw to follow as Deshan Fernando for the Cops.
You can see the sharpness of this police team in the way they have started this game. They've looked like scoring one more time than they actually have. And the CR have a big reputation to live up to after beating Kandy twice over the season. So they will need to make sure that they don't relax too much in this game. They haven't looked sharp. Few changes as well, which can create a little bit of uncertainty in the combinations. But police have looked pretty good so far. Hiranta Pereira acting as scrum half there, setting up a phase in line with the posts.
Get back, please. Number 17, get back, please.
Police content to keep this one tight for the moment. And now they will open it out. Prince Charmer with the little circus pass for Hiranta Pereira. But unfortunately, the former Isipatana captain has turned it over. Gamunu Chetia with a good chase. And Primesh Danushka has done well to keep the ball. Here's Faumi getting through the tackle initially, then brought to ground. Danushka again. Deshan Fernando carries strongly in midfield. Chamara. Shane Hopwood eager to get involved from fullback, joins the line and he's held up nicely by Tenu Kanane Akara. But the police support play is good. They get rid of the would-be defenders. Primesh Danushka again doing really well to make sure he holds on to this ball. Hiranta Pereira again finds himself at scrum half. That's a huge punt from Prince Chamara. Waiting for it is Zubair, but it doesn't fall for him, and it does fall for Akash though. Almost to the line. Kavindu de Costa fell on the wrong side. He's lucky to get away with that. And Primesh Danushka now for Lahiru Tilakaratna, and this pass is spilled, but not before there was an offside call.
Police Sports Club looking very threatening. Just meters away from the whitewash as a quick tap taken.
Hiranta Pereira now puts the player one-on-one. Thought they might have gone for an extension of the lead there. 11 points to 6 would have read nicely. Going into about the 25th minute mark. But why would they take the 3 when they can get the 7? Prince Chamara now. Defense on him by Ruberu. Still available for police right where they started. Hiranta Pereira is still involved in there. They need him outside to run onto this ball. Now the forwards set themselves up at the back. CR will have to defend desperately, and that's exactly what they do. Danushka, it's quick ball for him. He spins it wide. Prince Chamara looks to go himself. Almost over the line. And that's the try. A second try for police through Shane Hopwood, who has been excellent in the first half so far, injecting himself into every action. And the little man at fullback, you don't expect them to score close range tries, but that's exactly what he's done.
Yes, indeed, Shanaga. Former Wesleyite Shane Hopwood spoke about the 3 points, but I think that has rewarded Police Sports Club with 5 points as they increase their lead 12 points to 6. 13 points rather with the conversion to follow.
Prince Jamara steps up to take Police out 9 points in front if he's able to. In the strong breeze, creating problems for CR&FC. They're playing into it, and with nearly half an hour gone, things not looking as you would expect them to for the newly crowned champions. It looks like the 1 minute water break is coming up. It's a little late, but they'll take it, I'm sure. 27 minutes gone, Sudarshana, and it's been all Police so far in the opening half.
Yes, Police Sports Club have been absolutely brilliant, isn't it, Chanaka? I think it also got to do with the fact that Police, although becoming plate winners of this tournament, wanted to make sure that they finished a bit higher. And what better way to brag about your season once you've secured the plate is to try and beat that league champions, and then maybe go on to have one more big game and win that important Clifford Cup knockouts tournament. And if not for Sachit Silva having slippery hands, this lead could have been furthermore extended. And this shows why it's always difficult to come into a very crunch game after that extended break.
Yes, they've had a bye, haven't they? We talked about this at the last game as well. And when a team has a bye, they might be a little lacking in match sharpness, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. Police are coming off a good win against Air Force. They're confident, they're sharp, and CR will have to wake up if they are to try and add the double to their repertoire here today. Before winning the Clifford Cup, they have to first win the semi-final, of course. And Police will do everything within their power to ensure that that doesn't happen. CR decimated by injuries to their front rowers and some administrative issues as well, which meant that they don't have enough reserves in their tank. And for me, Sudarshana, the main thing was the fact that they choose to take those penalties early on after making a few breaks, and they haven't really had much of the ball so far.
Yes, sir, have been deprived of it due to very disciplined defense. As we talk about that, back on the hand to Ruberu, straightening things up and making it available for CR.
Beautiful break from Randy Silva, and what a lovely Sunny Bill pass as well. And it's Tenukananakar who will touch down in the corner. Just as we were saying that they need to look sharp, they certainly did.
Well, Tenukananakar will have that try written under his name, but it had Randy Silva's name written all over it. Created it with a very sharp run, and then the two offloads to make sure that they keep the continuity going. Brilliant stuff by CR&FC. This is why they were unbeaten champions when the league concluded. They will be wanting to pick up from here. And one thing that I was worried about was in that those first couple of minutes from Police, they were fired up, they were pumped up, but the conditioning, will it be possible for Police to try and keep up with this young CR side for the 80 minutes? And this is why condition is so important in the game of rugby, Shanaka.
It's a pretty young Police side as well, Sudarshana. So in terms of age, I don't think they'll have too much of a problem, but their front five are quite heavy. And that's where Candy also came a little bit undone, because they had some really big forwards doing well in the scrum, but when you bring in people who are going to dominate the scrum, you do sacrifice a little bit of mobility, especially late in the game. So yes, you're right. CR have been a second half team over the course of this championship, so perhaps they will rely on that as well, but their bench strength maybe not as strong as it has been previously. Strong wind coming through from top right of your screen to bottom left. And Tenukananiakara kicking straight into it.
Yes, CR have been playing against the wind and also against the sun as well. Sun is in their eye constantly, so it will be very good for them to try and be there and thereabout of the police score. Police, on the other hand, need to try and make use of the advantages that they have on their hand. Prince Charmer has been amazing in these opening exchanges. He's one of those experienced players that really need to spur up the young ones in the mix to try and make them believe that they can beat the CR side.
Well, I'm sure they came in with that belief. Sudarshana and Prince Charmer's opening couple of kicks and his contributions in open play, I'm sure, will lift the confidence of the players. You can see how much players like Akash Madhushankar and Shane Hopwood want to get involved. So they know that this is a big upset on the cards for them if they can make it count. And Primesh Tanushka has done brilliantly once again in the face of an on-rushing kick chase. Just in that halfway house between the fullback and the front line. These are the police forwards who've been doing plenty of foraging. It's Deshan Fernando, Tanushka. Here it is from Hopwood. Hopwood to Madhushankar. Here it is again. Primesh Tanushka, a long ball out from Prince Charmer, and that's nicely weighted. It's opened up a little bit for Sachit Silva, who steps back in and makes the ball available nicely. Here it is again from police, who are now inside the 22, and even though the player is trying to roll away, it hasn't happened quickly enough. Primesh Tanushka takes it quickly. Sia still caught napping. Police desperate to respond to that Nanayakkara try with one of their own. Here they go from close in, and that's a try. It's been scored despite Venura Kodagoda's best efforts, and that looks like it's Shanaka Harishchandra who touches down. Yes, the experienced former captain, manages to get the ball over the try line there, and Shanaka Harishchandra puts police back in the lead by 7.
Good shift by Police Sports Club, doing it very well, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered for the cops. They needed to make sure that they get in front of CR, get that psychological advantage, because CR is being made to chase this game from the start of the game. Like you mentioned, Shanaka, CR have shown that in the second half there are different beasts. They managed to do it against Candy Sports Club under a lot of pressure a couple of weeks ago at London Place, and if they can try and do that, they will still want to make sure that they are in contention. They are in that close quarters to strike. As the conversion goes through from Hopwood, that will increase it to a 9-point game here. And Police Sports Club really making a wave.
Yes, they're showing that those early tries were not just luck. They're showing that they can really put pace on the ball. And Nilufar Ibrahim will be happy with what he's seen on the scoreboard and on the pitch. Excellent kicking from Prince Charmer. That 40-meter penalty that he converted early on was really a statement of intent from him. And this was Hopwood who made the second conversion. Looks like that ball has been knocked forward from the restart, so police will have an opportunity again.
Adisha managed to get his hand on that ball, but unfortunately could not control it. Just a couple of days ago, we had a wonderful sevens tournament at the same venue, Shanaka. Now, a different kind of an interesting tournament where every game matters. Every time you get onto the field in this competition, Sri Lanka's oldest domestic competition, the Clifford Cup.
Time on.
Police have been one of those stalwarts when it comes to this competition, Shanaka. Back in the 70s, they were absolutely bossing this one. But since then, it's been quite the wait for them for any silverware when it comes to the big leagues.
Well, yes, it has. Talk about that in a moment as Prince Chamara opts for the air once again, using that excellent wind that he has as it back, and unfortunately Akash Madhushankar can't hold on, but it was a beautiful chase from the police centre. Here they are on the far side. Kavindu de Costa. Flying up was Amjad Fahmy. And CR win the penalty once again for hands in the ruck from police. And again Lahiru Tilakaratne goes down with a head knock, so that's twice for him. And police will want to think about making a substitution, but you're absolutely right, Sudarshana. Even in the early 90s and in the 80s, police were really there and thereabouts with Nizam Jamaldeen, who was the top point scorer in the league pretty much every season, and they were a top contender.
So you spoke about Tilakaratne going down. It was the second time that he went down, and this is the time that everybody collectively need to think about the player safety. Tilakaratne has been one of those standout performers when it comes to the police forwards, but player safety comes on top of everything else. So if referee Atavara can spot something that he doesn't like and he thinks will hamper the safety of the player, he has the blue card that he can pull out. Recognize and remove is something that we follow in at this level.
Manuka Ruberu, the first player to receive a blue card, all the way up in Nittavala, as CR now go to their tried and tested method of scoring. But police seem like they're alive to it. The ball is still moving. And that was some really good defense coming in from police. Outstanding work from them. It's Venura Kodagado who has it at the back and manages to wriggle his way free. Counter-rucking again from the police team as well. So they have not come here to just be a losing semi-finalist, have police. Ravin De Silva.
Ribbing. Play on.
Great blitz. Brilliant blitz by Police Sports Club. CR still managing to come away with it.
Ruberu over the top to Zubair. Aryapala close to the touchline.
Play on.
Police again, you can see the numbers have got to that breakdown, Sudarshan, even though they had plenty of players who were committed to the ruck or to the breakdown on the far side. They managed to get their backs across, and this is some real commitment.
Terrific stuff from Police Sports Club, especially when defending that maul. There was a player who came right through the maul, which is not very easy thing to do with a side like CR&FC who knows exactly how to do it. And also, like you mentioned, even in this rock on the opposite side of the field, they managed to get the numbers in, try and blitz that rock, put pressure on CR&FC and break their momentum. CR, of course, playing with a young first row, like you mentioned, Srikanth, Vendra Kodaguda and Dilshan Jaya making up that front three.
Adisha Veeratunga again takes it at the front, and Ravin De Silva will float it out to Kavindu de Costa. Brings it back for his forwards. It's pretty slow ball for CR, and that's testament to Police's defense. No advantage coming, so they will come back for a penalty, and I think it was not rolling away, which is a signal from referee Gihan Yadavara.
SGR supporting players managing to get the tackler stuck in there inside that infringement. CR will obviously want to go to touch. They're 9 points behind. Police, on the other hand, how will they opt to defend this ball here, Shanaka? Sometimes teams let go of the option of trying to counter with the jump. And that's sometimes your best weapon to try and counter a maul. Stop it before it starts.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to give the jump to Adisha Veeratunga here. They'll know he'll be their target man. And that's the easiest place to defend the maul as well, isn't it, Sudarshan, when he goes to number 2. She'll be happy for him to get it. This time the momentum is more sideways than forwards for CR. But now they've tried to move it in the right direction. And it's dragged down, and I think that'll look like it's a penalty try, if not a try, and it is a try. It's Venura Kodagoda who walks away with the ball, and the young CR hooker will chalk up a try in his name. So you can see the momentum when it started. Knew exactly where the line was, Kodagoda, and managed to dot it down.
Marks of a very good hooker who knows his way around from a maul. He had his eyes open, knew exactly where the line was. Despite CR initially having sideways momentum, they've managed to find their way into the in goal. Police, like we mentioned, did use the number 2 jumper, but unfortunately didn't account for the movement from the experienced lock Adisha, who took a couple of steps, and it was an easy throw, easy lob throw for Kodagoda, finding him at number 4.
So CR using their third kicker of the match so far. Manuel Ruberu took the first 2 kicks and was successful with them. But he delegated to Tenuka Nanayakara, and now Murshid Zubair will step up. And that kick is short of the left hand upright as well.
But what a brilliant luxury to have, isn't it, Chanaka? To have 3 place kickers in your ranks, where you can alternate between them. And Randy Silva is a decent kick as well, if need be. And then you have the likes of Rinesh Silva in your bench who can kick as well. It's always good to have options. If one player is under a little bit of pressure or has left his kicking boots at home, you can always go for the other options.
Well, you can have 5 kickers in your starting lineup, Sudarshana, but it won't matter if none of them get the ball over. So CR have left a few points on the park already. They will be even on the scoreboard if they had kicked those points, may even be in front. Kavinder De Costa is not a bad place kicker himself as he thumps this one into touch on the 40-meter mark. That's a better restart. They really fumbled their restarts earlier on in the game, allowing Police to take this lead. And now coming into half-time, Police will fancy their chances of going into half-time with a fairly significant lead, but with the win, Sudarshan, is 4 points of a lead enough.
Yes, I would agree with you. It's not going to be enough, especially with the way CR has been playing in this entire season. Police will really have to defend out of their skin. That's a beautiful line out. Going to number 6, never easy. And CR&FC make the mistake of protesting that it was not legal for the maul to move. It's completely legal for the maul to move. It's just that you cannot transfer the ball. And at the point where they decided to transfer the ball, CR men had already made contact there. But Police could not control the momentum and coughed up the ball. Very unfortunate for them, because that looked like the wheels were moving.
Yes, that maul made a good 12 to 15 meters that time. So another feather in the cap of Police. They know they can use this. And this will make the opposition forward start thinking as well, isn't it, Sudarshan? Like, okay, they can do to us what we did to them. So we need to be a little careful. So it's just about creating pressure, just putting doubt into the opposition's mind, and Police have done that really well so far. This young front row has held up pretty well so far. And as I say that, they give away the scrum penalty. Going to the knee, says referee Atawara. We'll show you that again and see which player it was.
Number 17.
Police Sports Club straight away opting to go for the post. I think it's because they'd like to go with a 7-point lead into half time, which will spur CR to try and go for the score even after they switch sides and will be playing with the win.
I think it's an interesting call, but they must have known that time was up, Sudarshana. So they don't want to take the chance of not scoring any points. They want to make sure they get 3. And Prince Charmer turned around as soon as he kicked it. And his kicking is responsible in no small part to this 23-16 lead that Police will take into the halftime break. And as much as CR&FC came in as hot favourites into this game after winning the league championship, Police have shown that the Clifford Cup is all about upsets.
Well, the Clifford Cup is all about upsets, and the Clifford Cup is highly desired by all these clubs, all these top 8 clubs who compete for it. And Police Sports Club have gone in the correct direction in the opening 40. Can they keep on doing the same thing in the second 40? We will have to wait and see. But it has been an interesting semi-final. Shanak, as semi-finals have been in this competition, and Police really making a claim and also pretty much reconfirming the fact that we've been harping throughout the season that they had so much more potential than a 5th place finish.
Absolutely, this is the Cup champions versus the Plate champions, and what a game it's turning out to be indeed. And Police just missing out on coming into that 4th position and competing for the Cup. And we would have seen them perhaps doing a little bit more of this in the league if they had managed to get that 1 spot over. But as we come into halftime and wait for anticipate another really competitive 40 minutes of rugby coming up, we will be showing you the highlights of the first half.
CR&FC getting the game going with the kickoff, and from early stages, Police looked like they were up for the game. What they wanted to do was they wanted to run from all corners of the field. CR getting first points with a penalty, and then the Police forwards have been absolutely brilliant this game so far in this first 40, which is why I brought up that point of conditioning coming into play, because the penalties that Police have received was due to the good work of the forwards, making sure they slow it down against Police, and making sure CR rather making sure that they get quality ball. And this was some brilliant work by Randy Silva, being finished off by Tenakonara Kara for CR's try, and then again the Police forwards scoring the final try that was scored in the first half, and also CR equalizing straight away with a maul of their own. Chamara, who's having a brilliant day so far with his kicking boots, adding the 3 points at the stroke of half time. We'll go for a quick commercial break, and on the other side we will have the second half action of this Nippon Plate Clifford Cup semi-finals.
ඉන්දිය ආධිපත්‍ය බිඳලීමට එන ඉංග්‍රීසීන්ට පසු නොබසින ඉන්දියානුවන්. එංගලන්ත කණ්ඩායමේ ඉන්දීය සංචාරය ටෙස්ට් තරග 5කින් සමන්විත ද්වන්ද්ව සංග්‍රාමයේ ආශ්වාදය. පෙබරවාරි 2 වෙනිදා සිට මාර්තු 11 වෙනිදා දක්වා සජීවීව ThePapare TV සහ Dialog ViU app ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
145th Battle of the Blues. Royal versus St. Thomas's. 7th, 8th, 9th March at SSE. Live on the Papare TV HD, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com. Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
Another super rugby season.
live on the Papare TV and Dialog ViU app, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
Youth එකට සෙට් වෙන්න ඔයාලත් කැමතිද? Youth Plus.
The Papare TV, The Papare TV HD, Dialog Television නාලිකාංක 63 සහ 126 ඔස්සේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
I believe the right house is like a soulmate. When the right one comes along, it's magic.
Welcome home, Susan.
There's something in the house making it hard for us to sell, and we make it go away.
Run as fast as you can.
Is there anything else that I need to know?
Real Estate, Season 2.
Real estate is exciting, isn't it?
On Rock Entertainment.
ඉන්දිය ආධිපත්‍ය බිඳලීමට එන ඉංග්‍රීසීන්. ඉංග්‍රීසීන්ට පසු නොබසින ඉන්දියානුවන්. එංගලන්ත කණ්ඩායමේ ඉන්දීය සංචාරය ටෙස්ට් තරඟ 5කින් සමන්විත ද්වන්ද්ව සංග්‍රාමයේ ආශ්වාදය. පෙබරවාරි 2 වෙනිදා සිට මාර්තු 11 වෙනිදා දක්වා සජීවීව The Papare TV සහ Dialog ViU app ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
ඔයාලගේ කම්පැනි එකේ, ඔයාලගේ ක්ලබ් එකේ, ඔයාලගේ ස්කූල් එකේ youth එකට සෙට් වෙන ඕනම ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් The Papare TV එකෙන් මුළු ලංකාවටම පෙන්වන්න අපි ලෑස්ති. ඔයාලත් ලෑස්තිද? අපිට කතා කරන්න.
The Papare TV, The Papare TV HD, Dialog Television නාලිකාංක 63 සහ 126 ඔස්සේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
The history maker of sport. Innovative, incomparable, unleashing an experience. The Papare TV. On the Papare TV and the Papare TV HD. On channel number 63 and 126. Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
It's quite an atmosphere. Rugby's greatest championship. A ball to set. Marcus Smith must be for the away goal. This time, go Scotland. Look where Preston has got the weather. This is astonishing. That is a right moment.
119th Lovers Quarrel. Richmond versus Mahinda. 15th and 16th March at Galle. Live on Dialog TV channel 127, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Catch the action of the Sri Lanka Tour of Bangladesh 2024 live. Enjoy 3 T20 matches, 3 ODI matches and 2 Test matches from 4th March to 3rd April. Live on Dialog Television, the Papare TV. Dialog, the official sponsor of the national cricket team. England back to conquer India? Or will India wield their might? The cricketing showdown of the year. England takes on India in an epic test series that promises passion, rivalry and unforgettable moments. England Tour of India, 2nd February to 11th March, live on the Papare TV and Dialog ViU app, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
Come on, everyone, let's make some noise with our loudest cheer for this momentous game.
Let's go. Tata Women's Premier League starts February 23rd. Live on the Papare TV HD and Dialog ViU app, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Royal versus St Thomas's 47th Mustangs Trophy. 16th March at SSE. Live on the Papare TV HD, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
Welcome back to live action on ThePapare.com and the Papare TV as we bring you the Clifford Cup semi-final, the first of two semi-finals. CR&FC taking on Police today, and tomorrow we'll have CH&FC taking on Havelocks in the other battle to make it to the final against the winner of today's game. And the winner of today's game, Sudarshana, hangs very much in the balance because Police have really put their hand up and said, we are not going to go away just because you're the league champion. We are the plate champions. We should have given you a run for your money in the cup championship as well. And they take a healthy 23-16 lead into the second half.
Brilliant semi-final, isn't it? It's not 1 against 5, but it's two teams wanting to book their place in the final. And like you mentioned, the Cops have come with all guns blazing.
It's a long kick, easily taken by Kavindu Di Costa, who returns the favour. And Police will have their line out just inside the 40-metre mark of CR territory.
The line out has been something the Police team has had to work on very much due to their shortcomings in the first round, which is why they had to finish the league in the 5th position. Seems like they've done a lot of work on that.
Nicely taken by Uday Sanjula in the middle of the Police line out. Still available for Police. And now Police with their first attack of the half. Hiranta Pereira, the season's top try scorer, or second top try scorer I should say. The top try scorer is not on show today, as Mohan Vimalaratna now finds some space for Sanjula. Primesh Tanushka, who's been very good from the base. Hiranta Pereira, who's played at fly half many times before. Manka Aryapala, though, will mark this ball and does very well to do so. Quickly takes the tap and hands it off to Murshid Zubair, who thumps it gratefully down the pitch. And the Police have a line out almost in the identical place on the other side of the pitch.
Yes, Police getting that initial forward momentum from the mauls. We want to try and keep it under control and try and work on the direction, because going sideways in a maul is not going to give you any benefit. CR&FC a little unsettled once the maul starts moving, so you need to make sure that you hang on to that momentum, and this time around it's an overthrow.
Ball lost forward on the floor by Amjad Fawmi. Police will now have to defend quickly to prevent that counter-attack from Kavindu Di Costa. Venura Kodagora is the acting scrum half, and CR will use their depleted front row forwards to try and hit this one up. Plenty of controversy surrounding the personnel that CR were going to put into this game. Here's Ruberu. Here's some space opening up nicely, and an early pass from Gamunu Chetia to Gamunu Chetia. But the pass looked like it might have been a little forward.
Assistant referee spotting that and informing the man in Ball departing forward from Subair's hand. Important scrum for Police Sports Club, who spent opening minutes in the second half in the opposition territory. We want to make sure that they go back with points. Any points from here will do a world of confidence to the police team.
Vihanga Pivuturu goes off the back, Adisha Veeratunga, and Vihanga Pivuturu again goes all the way across the field. He's done that twice now in this game, and Shane Hopwood has to hair back pretty quickly to prevent Randy Silva getting to that ball before he does, and does well, the young fullback. Prince Chamara manages to pick up that loose ball, and Vihanga Pivuturu needs to do a little bit better if he's going off the back, Sudarshana. He's gone cross field, and if he does go cross field, he's either got to set it up or to make sure he gets behind the defensive line. But just that long lateral run is not going to help anyone.
Is he only going to make the defense stand still and let you come to them? Now opportunity for CR&FC, the young Kodagoda, to hit the mark, who doesn't find Adisha.
Well, they had plenty of runners lining up behind Tenukanane Akara in that move, but it won't matter because they couldn't win the line-out ball, and Primesh Sanushka will use his screens to try and clear, but it's good work that time from Ravin De Silva, who charges the kick down. So police find themselves under a little bit of pressure, not enough cover as the guard, that pillar, wasn't there for Primesh Sanushka on that far side.
It's normally the halfbacks are very, very vocal and very particular about how they want cover, as CR managed to get this line out successfully.
Adisha Veeratunga will set up that maul, but Police's defense is pretty good once again. You can see the assistant referee communicating on the far side, and that's exactly what he has communicated, that it's gone down, and Police have got their mitts all over it. Great stuff from Police. That's 2 mauls that they've stifled so far.
Never an easy task, never an easy task, especially when you're competing in the line out itself. So kudos to the police forwards for being privy to what the lads from London Place are up to. Also for Dushant Leuke, wouldn't have been very easy to try and keep these lads motivated to try and go for that second silver, isn't it, Chanaka? Never easy when you have such a high winning the league after 26 years.
Of course, everything else seems to pale in comparison, but it doesn't matter because you're only as good as your last game. And a league championship will not mean much if you're a losing semi-finalist at CR&FC. The London Place clubhouse is a difficult place to be if you're not winning all your games. So I'm sure the players will realize that as well. It's kept in field by Imankari Apala. No, it's not, because he landed outside. The police crowd on the far side don't agree with that call, but it is correct because the player who touched the ball was outside the touch line when he did, and he landed outside the touch line as well. Simankari Apala.
Time on.
Police doing well to thwart 2 attempts from CR&FC in their red zone. Now they need to make sure that they safeguard possession and not let CR play too much with ball in hand.
Big bust up in midfield by the skipper Soiru Anthony, but Hiranta Pereira meets him. Gamunu Chetia looping round, but unable to catch that pass from Murshid Zubair. Really well read that time.
Number five. Change.
From Sujan Kodituakku.
These little unfroze terrors that are creeping up in the red flank is not going to do them any good. They are chasing this game, CR&FC, and will want to make sure that they get their fluency ASAP. And you spoke about the fact that CR does not have that same bench strength that they used to in the league, Shanaka. But as for police, they have this trump card in their bench in the form of Mithun Hapugura. He's a player who can create things from nowhere, and they will be banking on him to try and close out this game in the last quarter of the game.
They certainly will. They will look for his experience and that game-breaking ability, the X factor, as some coaches like to call it. But they might not need much more with Shane Hopwood playing like this. Sachin Silva stepping in field. What a beautiful try. It didn't bounce for him in the first half, but my goodness, Shane Hopwood and Sachin Silva have combined beautifully for one of the tries of the season, Sudarshan. Outstanding work from police.
Brilliant. Just beautiful stuff from the cops. Understanding the memo correctly, perfectly. And Primesh Danushka says, we'll keep a lid on it, lads. Beautiful stuff, but let's keep a lid on it. The game is not over. But Sachin Silva was denied in the first half, will not be denied in this second. Important score for Police Sports Club and pressure on the red men.
Well. Now the game has blown wide open. Hopgood will definitely convert this, I'm sure. Yes, he does. And suddenly a 7-point lead is a 14-point lead. And the writing on the wall seems to be in blue.
Take a look at this lovely bit of work from Hopwood. Realizes that there is absolutely no one covering that space, and Sachin Silva, how about that first step? Rinech Silva gets a schooling from another Silva.
Yes, he's been playing in the club circuit for a while, Sachin Silva, the former Josephian. And Rinech Silva, in just his first club season, played pretty well in that league decider, but left for dead by the left footstep of Sachin Silva. And I'm surprised at the defensive pattern that CR are using here, with Murshid Zubair coming so fast up to make the defensive hits. So that means that they're exposing themselves at the back, and to his credit, Shane Hopwood has spotted that more than once now.
Yes, ideally you'd like to have your halfback to come in and join in as the sweeper when your fullback joins the line to defend, but that time around Costa was still involved in the earlier infringements.
Important line out now. And the police do really well. That was a crucial possession. Taking that forward nicely. Our police through Sanjula. Now Zubair manages to hold on to the ball this time. Police trying to counter-ruck through Pereira. Dilshan Jaya carrying the ball forward, the young prop, but what good work from Lahiru Tirakaratna and Vihanga Pivituru. They've managed to turn the ball over beautifully and take it over the 40-meter line. Fantastic work from police. Here's Prince Chamara now. Nice ball out in front of Hiranta Pereira. Coming back was Sujan Godiduaku, and here it is for the try scorer. Deshan Fernando now finds himself in midfield. Hopwood again, and that time they were alive to it. Tenukanane Akara puts his hand up basketball style, makes the block. And off his feet goes Sachin Silva to try and play that ball. In fact, it was Primesh Danushka. Some good work just coming undone.
Yes, mightily impressed with police forwards and the men around the fringes, Shanaka, the way they counter, that takes a lot out of you, and they've done it consistently. And when you can challenge a team on their strongest suits, like the line out, like the contact areas, that's when you can put doubt inside the teams, and that's what police have done exactly. Putting pressure on CR when it comes to line out time. They've defended the mall well, and especially when it comes to the rucks. CR have been in two minds whether to commit more players around the rucks or whether they are going to be spreaded out wide.
So CR making a substitution. Coming off the bench is Kavinash Srikanth.
Time on.
Makes way for another royalist, Shenal Adhikaram. So a prop for a second row. Randul Senanayake is on as well. So CR opting for a little bit of weight now, and police, as we talked about earlier, will their conditioning be able to hold, as Venura Kodagoro is a little isolated at the back of this driving mall. And again, superb work from Primesh Danushka. He has been very good at the base.
What a brilliant testament to the proud rugby traditions that are down there in Moratua. Cambrian, former Prince of Wales skipper Danushka has played his club rugby at Police Sports Club even during the tough seasons. He's been one of those players who's really put his hand up and really laid claim to that number 9 jersey, and he's using his experience to very, very good effect here.
Number 16.
Certainly has. He's been a stalwart of this police team. And he's really putting his body on the line. One of the smallest men on the park, Sudarshana, but you wouldn't know it the way he approaches the game. And Venura Kodagora, his last contribution to that maul was his final for the game, and he will be hoping that his Clifford Cup is not over as Amit Gunasinghe comes on to replace him. Mohan Vimararatne takes it beautifully, just over the 15-meter mark. That ball, CR were arguing, was transferred. And another good decision from... that ball was smacked down by Sujan Kodituaku, and I think we might see a yellow. Yes, that was a silly decision by Sujan to do exactly what he did, because police do not need a player in the bin, not with 14 points of a lead.
Yes, definitely not now. This is the time that CR will look to shift gears, approaching the final quarter of the game. It was a good kick, and was a decent chase on that as well. All police had to do was try and stop CR in their own half and try and put pressure, because in order for CR to score, they need to get into challenging territory. And if you can deprive CR of that, they will be compelled to take the side route where they will want to go to touch. And today, the line out hasn't been working as much as they would have liked.
Yes, they've coughed up a couple of lineouts. This time it's a better one. Here's Randul Senanayake, the former Royal skipper, just across the road from his usual hunting ground, as Manilka Ruberu takes this one forward. But again, the white jerseys beating the Reds to the breakdown. Superb intervention by Lahiru Tirakaratne, smashing the halfback off the ball. Be interesting to see that one again and see where he started from. Prince Chamara now looking for the diagonal kick, and it's a very good one. He's making some good decisions, isn't he? Nadisha Veeratunga needs to know by now that he can't take a quick throw with a new ball.
Brilliant tactical read, trying to pick that ball. I think Police got a little lucky there. But like you mentioned, Prince Charmer playing a brilliant territorial game and putting pressure on CR.
The rule is that you can advance and play the halfback once he's picked the ball up. It was very clear that Kavinder De Costa was still trying to retrieve that ball from the base. Lahiri Tirakratna going a little too early, but not too early for Gihan Yatavara's liking. Looks like that might be really good work done by Hiranta Pereira and the rest of his crew as well. And that time it was Shehan Kalaniagoda who got held up. Just couldn't bring the ball down. Nanayakara passing it off to Randul. In fact, Shehan. And look at the strength of Hiranta Pereira. He's a midfielder but is playing like a second row at the moment.
Brilliant stuff. These are tiny moments that police are currently winning, and these moments would really put a massive tinker on the confidence of the Red Men. And that man we were speaking about, the fire starter Hapugada, is in the number 29 jersey. So keep an eye out for any surprising sniping runs from this centre field scrum, Shanaka. Ideal hunting grounds for Hapuguru to come into.
Well, they've chosen to put him in at number 9, replacing the man who's probably been their best player so far. So it's a difficult decision for Nilfa Ibrahim to make, because Shane Hopwood is also playing brilliantly, and 9 and 15 are the positions that Hapugoda can slot into. Yes, Akash Madhushankar, the dangerous Akash Madhushankar. Manilka Ruberu meets him. Mohan Vimaratna. Close quarter stuff here, and this is where police love to play their rugby as well. Here's Vihanga Pivituru. Shows infield and goes outside. Nice work, and Akash Madhushankar does so well. What strength from the police 13.
Zubair might join Kodituaku. Not ideal for CR&FC, because remember, they have a 14-point deficit. Brilliant work. Look at the strength from Madhushankar, making sure that he keeps ball in play and that quick offload. Zubair, you'd say if it was in football, that would have been a necessary yellow card that he was taking. But in football, you receive a yellow card, you don't leave the field.
Yes, that's a huge moment in the game. And hats off to Vihanga Pivituru for that little show inside. Really committed Kushan Tarindu, who's come on. And that's what gave the space for Akash Madhushan down the line. If you can just take it back a couple of seconds there for that replay, we'll show you that excellent ball work by Vihanga Pivituru. And there's Murshid Zubair. He'll argue his defense, but he knew exactly what he was doing there.
Opportunity now for police.
Let's watch it here. Watch that inside show. There you go. And Kushan Tarindu, who's gone in already, has no time. And what a kick, bringing it round. No, he just doesn't manage to bring it round. And Kushan Tarindu will now run it round. Prince Charmer was absolutely devastated that he didn't get that kick to just curl in at the last moment. Rene Silva now will run this one. Out of trouble. And CR, can they use that little moment of luck for themselves? Manilka Ruberu. Ravin De Silva at first receiver. Police's big forwards have belied their weight and been all over the park in defense. Deshan Fernando.
And Tabit ganging up on the oncoming player that time, and police have opted to go for those gang up tackles, Shanika, where they've managed to hold up CR forwards on their tracks. And also their families who are playing together when it comes to ruck time has been impressive, or massive miss.
That's a big miss by Tenukanane Akara, not the regular touch kicker now that Zubair is in the sin bin. And nicely done by Sachit Silva that time to find a little bit of space so that one man less in the back three, already making an impact for CR.
1 minute for
Tenukanane Akara again from the middle of the field, just going for a little too much, and Sachit doing really well there.
Never easy, Chanaka, fielding kicks like that. You have to make a decision whether you are going for it or whether you're just letting it go out. Police player on the field. Now it's the time that police will hope their leaders will kicking. They have some very good experience in the ranks in the likes of Iranta Pereira, Charmer and also Hapugoda. Here's what we were speaking about. That one show towards Silva is what created the space for Madhushankar.
Yes, it was a Vaisale Serevi kind of move almost. And Mithun Hapugoda managed to get the ball where it was most exposed, and Murshid Zubair tapping it down in the tackle, but doesn't matter because no referees, whether it's international or domestic, are going to stand for that any longer.
It's natural to get excited every time nowadays you see an interception try, Shanika. It has become a very, very rare breed in the game of rugby, because if you have intention of intercepting a ball, you need to make sure that you go with both hands and your momentum is upwards and not downwards towards the ground.
Yes, and we saw a turning point in the league decider as well when Srinath Surya Bandara went off for exactly that same thing. And Vinudha Amaneth finds himself on the park, and that might add some impetus to the breakdown. This is what he can do off the base, looking for a little bit of pace. Rinesh Silva just unable to get away inside the field of play.
CR&FC looking for options now, and the introduction of Amaneth, like you mentioned. One of those players that not many people took notice of Amaneth in that Kinswood outfit. Everybody was talking about Dinar Lekanayaka, everybody spoke about Asari Serneviratna, but Amaneth has been a crucial member in this CR outfit who went on to win a historic league.
Yes, he has provided cover for the experienced Kavindu De Costa, who's CR's centenary captain. Has been knocked forward, so CR will now have an opportunity. And without Lasindu Ishan at 8 and Kavindu De Costa at 9 now, CR are facing an uphill battle.
Yes, they need 2 converted tries, CR. Police forwards need to gather up now. They are in the closing phase of this game, into the last 15 minutes. CR need 2 converted tries to try and equalize the opposition scores. So police will want to try and play this one tactically. Shanika, play the territorial game as much as they possibly can. Don't overexert themselves in their own half.
And I think Prince Charmer has been doing a wonderful job of that so far. And this is the inexperience. Randul Serenayaka at the back, coughing that ball up. A big scrum by CR. This is where those front row replacements will be dearly missed. Mithun Hapugoda waiting for his moment, but for now he's content to allow Shane Hopwood Pass looked like it might have been slightly forward, but it was short enough. Hiranta Pereira now. The big man shoving Vihanga. Hapugoda, they can't afford to take their eye off him. Hiranta Pereira stepping nicely away to Sachit Silva. Steps away, but they eventually get back, and Tenuka Akara makes a desperate tackle. Thrown away that time by Hopwood, but Lahiru Tilakaratne was well in front of that pass.
Well, when Sachit Silva went to the ground, take a look at this. Lovely bit of work, awareness of that tiny space that was created by Hiranta's step. And when Sachit Silva went down, Mithun Hapugoda picking that ball would have sent shockwaves into the CR faithful, but luckily for CR, the oncoming sweeping defense was good to hold them down. Now the leaders, Adisha Viratunga, one of those impactful players, Ravindra Silva, needs to speak up, try and rally the forwards, tell them, listen mate, we only just got 10 minutes remaining in our season, which is supposed to be an unbeaten season. Let's get together and make sure that we get this card across to the other side of the field.
Absolutely. Sudarshana, this was supposed to be a double winning season for them, but it looks like they've left a lot on the park in that league win and haven't managed to recover from that first 40 minutes where Police had the better of the exchanges. Amaneth to Tenuka Akara, who uses that low back lift but kicks it straight into the hands of the dangerous Shane Hopwood. Ball bouncing. And bouncing out of the hands that time. And it's been a bit of a volleyball session there, but referee playing advantage and finding it in their hands. Well,
Hiranta deciding that he needs to try something out that he watched on Insta Reels that time, Sanaka. Knew that the advantage was coming. It was interesting that referee Attamala continued to play advantage, because I thought Police lost the ball forward as well.
Yes, it looked for all money like there were two knock-ons there, which means that advantage always ends. Yes, Hopwood's kick. Sachit Silva putting everyone on side, so good play from him. Hapugoda now will be licking his lips. He knows that there's a fullback missing. Adisha Viratunga makes the first up tackle on Pivituru. Adisha makes a second tackle, and Police will keep battering away. They won't mind this, Sudarshana, because they'll cut time off the clock and they'll stay in the half.
Yes, they won't mind it at all, because the AR has his flag up as well for some infringement that they've seen. Referee playing advantage in favor of Police Sports Club. So the worst outcome from this could be a 3-point attempt for Police, where they can suck in a couple of more minutes. Well, George Ford brings back the drop kick to the game, to the international game, and Prince Charmer says, I'll do that here at the knockout semis. The beloved drop kick. Absolutely terrible weapon to face if you're in the opposition side, but what a performance from Charmer.
I watched him for many years, Sudarshana, since he was a schoolboy at Science College, moved to Havelocks CR, and now to Police. And this, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, is the best game I've seen him play.
He's taking a lot of leadership as well. Oh well, Murshid Zubair being spoken to by the referee. He's just come back to the field.
Tenukanane Akkara now will know that he needs to spark something from 10. And won't help if they give away penalties like that.
Completely milked it. Madhushankar Hapagoda takes it quickly. And Mithun Hapagoda, this is exactly why he's in the team in this second half. To try and rush things up, make sure that Police is on the front foot.
Police's forwards have kept going and going today. Showed no signs of flagging in the face of this young CR team. Here it is, long ball. Hiranta Pereira has been excellent today. Very strong in the contact. Counter ruck from CR, but this time it's Hiranta Pereira who tries to push that ball back in field, but he's shoved into touch first.
Under 5 minutes to go on our clock, Shanaka, and it's safe to say Police's biggest achievement this season is not going to be that number 5 finish or the plate championship they won, but it's dethroning the league champions of their unbeaten tag this season. They've done everything right, Police, from the get-go, but I think it's their forwards who have really made the difference in this game, keeping aside that brilliant performance from Prince Chamara, like you mentioned, but forwards as a unit have been absolutely impressive.
Ashan Darling is on the pitch as we wait for Tenukanane Akkara to be attended to. Darling with a heavily strapped right leg. He's been injured and hasn't played a single minute of rugby for about 5 weeks, but finds himself on the pitch because there has been a bit of a wrangling between the SL Sri Lanka Rugby and CR&FC as to what players are eligible for them to play. Zayan Sabah played for the B Division champions, the Sri Lions, a couple of weeks ago, and it's a question as to his eligibility despite being a registered CR&FC player. They would have liked to have him on the park. Murshid Zubair back from the sin bin and having a word. But it's fair to say that the forwards, the CR forwards, have looked off colour today in the face of this Police pack.
Certainly so, especially when it comes to line-outs, the contact areas, and also even in the scrums, Police have held to their own.
Here's Nane Akkara, looks for Kushan Tarindu now. Here's Zubair, puts a little chip in, but it might bounce into touch. Needed to keep that in the field of play to allow Rene Silva to run on to that one.
The Chantleuke in the dugout is not a happy man. He's not impressed from what he has seen so far from his players. Coming back to that, it's a real challenge, isn't it, Bishanaka, when your team has achieved something so great, so desired by an entire fraternity, to try and keep them going for another 2 weeks. Doesn't help that they got a bye as well in the previous week, which gave them 2 weeks of dormancy when it comes to game time.
Shanaka Harishchandra is at the back of that line out. You're absolutely right, Sudarshana. Keeping the intensity and the desire, especially of a young team, up when they feel that they've achieved what they set out to do. Chamara again finds some grass. And Rene Silva. Really good defense that time. Here's Randy Silva. After that run, he's been pretty quiet. We haven't seen Sia's backs been able to really do what they did against Kandy. Manilka Ruberu They're pretty desperate now. And even if they score now, Sudarshan, you have to think it's one score too far. This is Srikanth. Amit Gunasinghe. Zubair. Looking for an option, but Police's defense is still very much in this game. Jumping into the tackle that time was Dilshan Jaya, and I think referee Adavara has got that spot on.
Yes, absolutely. I think Mohan Tilakaratne, beg your pardon, Lahiru Tilakaratne rather momentarily thought that he was going to be in trouble, but Jaya had absolutely nothing to do with wanting to jump over a tackler. Got to really appreciate how well this police team has taken this game up. Here's another look at how that panned out. Jaya seemed like he jumped up to collect that ball.
Yes, it looks like he's got a yellow card for dangerous play as well. So jumping into the tackle and jumping straight up. It's going to be a topic of conversation before the final, I'm sure. And Police very sensibly again. Their game management has been excellent today, Sudarshana. And this looks like a championship winning performance if they can replicate it against whoever their opponents are in the final.
Yes, I think they will want to make sure they go one better. Make sure that they have that Clifford Cup. This young Police outfit, many of the senior players are not available to them this time around, and yet again CR managing to upset that line out. They haven't been able to do that very consistently today.
CR will have to run this one out from their 22. They have no options. 80 minutes is up on our clock and probably on the referee's clock as well. Zubair, Kushan Tarindu, and look at the defense from Sachit Silva, still swarming all over. Vinud Amanet, ball doesn't go to hand. Rene Silva has not had the best game so far. Randu Serenayaka calls for the ball, puts his head down and takes route one. But the heavy trucks aren't going to get them anywhere. They'll need the zooms out wide. Yes. Adisha Veeratunga palms that ball away in the face of the tackle from Sujan Kodituaku.
Offside.
Shanaga with full time just around the corner. I think it's time for us to decide on who the player of the match will be, and for their performance, I think the entire set of Police forwards, even the ones who came from the bench, deserves that accolade because they've played out their skins. But the one man from the forwards who stood out for me was Lahiru Tilakaratne in that number 7 jersey. He was just making his way out. He played brilliantly well, especially defensively and also as a line-out jumper. But I think it's pretty difficult to look away from the man who has really pulled the strings for the Cops.
Yes, I think Prince Chamara is probably just a little bit ahead of Primesh Janushka and Shane Hopwood in that he's played the full 80 minutes and been really creative and managed this game brilliantly for Police, and that's why he gets the nod. Although, as you said, Sudarshan, a lot of Police players have put their hands up and been counted in this encounter. Randy Silva, lovely little inside ball to Manil Karuberu, but it's going to be too little too late for CR. And Amit Gunasinghe now takes the ball over the halfway line. And we talked at halftime that the breeze might be a factor, but the breeze died down as soon as the sun went down, Sudarshana, and it really didn't hamper Police as much as it hampered CR in the first half. So good luck with the conditions as well. Everything going right for Police today. Again, another penalty, and Police won't mind giving away as many penalties as they want, but Randy Silva now getting that ball off Murshid Zubair, trying to do their best, but everyone's trying to just drive, but what a bust up the middle from Danushka Edirisure, the experienced Police prop. Kushan Tarindu off the bench. Can he spark something? Rinesh Silva, probably one of the quickest men on the park, but can he make something happen? This man can. Sachit Silva is going to put the finishing touches on this cake. He is going to get his second try. Could have had a hat-trick if the ball bounced a little bit better, but the former Josephian, once again in blue and white, will take his team into the final of the Clifford Cup tournament. There's absolutely no disputing this win now. This will take Police up to 40 points against the league champions. You can see what this means to them.
Well, it's fair to say it has been a mass arrest of lads from London Place here at the racecourse by the police force. Absolutely brilliant stuff by the cops. This is a testament to how much they persevered. Police having the last say and making sure that they go comfortable victors. Shanaka, people would have expected this one to be close, but nobody would have expected Police to win with this margin.
Well, it's all about preparation. Police's season has left them wanting a little bit more. CR perhaps peaked a little too early. And once all is said and done, we saw this happen to England in the World Cup of 2019, didn't we, Sudarshana? They beat the All Blacks in that wonderful performance and then suddenly realized they had to play a final.
Well, we saw that happening to Ireland just the last World Cup, Shanaka. Up until the quarterfinals they were, and they still are the #1 team in the world, but never couldn't time it correctly. And how about 2 points for the trouble? 2 points for good measure, and referee Atavara's clock dictates that there are a couple of more minutes to play.
Well, that was the first contribution, first touch of the ball from Navin Kanishka, the former Isipatana captain, who finds himself in Police colours. Stays in Havelock Town, does Navin Kanishka, but in a different jersey.
Kanishka also a cricketer. Was, I think, would have made that strategic move to going to Police, because Police Sports Club now play in the top division. Have the likes of Shan Bandara, Kusal Janit Pereira in their ranks. So that's some very good exposure for Kanishka as well. Try and play the beloved oval-shaped ball game and also try his hand with first-class cricket.
Yes, why not, if he's given the opportunity, and that's exactly what the forces will be able to do given their resources, but hopefully their sporting systems will remain funded, because it is an avenue for youngsters who haven't played the game from outstations as well to come and try their hand at sports like rugby and cricket. You can see Police are just having fun now. Murshid Zubair will have no option but to try to run this one out, but gets away from 3, gets away from 4, and now a little bit of space opening up for Manilka Ruberu. And on the far side, Tenukanane Akkara gives the ball to Rinesh Silva. CR still trying desperately to get a score on the boards, but it's turned over.
Look at this Police supporters waiting to invade the ground and come celebrate. That's lost forward, and that's a penalty in favor of Police. It's not the long whistle, my friends. Little too eager, don't jump the gun.
Well, all they have to do now is take the tap and knock it into touch. And Mithun Habagoda's biggest contribution will be thumping this one into touch and jumping as high as he can, because his police team have done what nobody expected them to do. The plate champions have upset the cup champions, and what a game we've had today. It's been police all the way from the first whistle to the last. An outstanding 2-try performance from Sachit Silva, but an even better team performance from the rest of the policemen, and perhaps they should make a case of playing in white more often.
Well, the cops in white arrest the red men red-handed here at the race course. CR&FC will be wondering what if and what would it really hurt the lads who are jubilant after that victory is the way in which way they went down to Police Chanaka. It's not a 2-point victory, it's not a 3-point victory that Police have managed. It's a convincing win from Police Sports Club, and they did outplay this CR&FC side despite being depleted due to injuries. CR had that depth in them throughout the season to try and make sure that they edged through, but Police really showing them up.
Yes, it's the manner of the defeat will disappoint them. They were never in the game, were they, Sudarshan? From that first penalty that they got, and then after Police scored, they never looked like they were going to be in this one. Highlights of the second half. Hopwood's brilliant little chip kick forward. Gamunu Chetia not able to cover the line, and his brilliant step from Sachit Silva on Rene Silva. Not a guy that gets stepped very often.
Usually the instigator Rene Silva of that step.
Prince Chamara with a lovely drop goal as well. They had an advantage coming, so he knew it was available, and this was the final try. Lovely fend from Sachit Silva, who had down the touchline. Therukananayakara gave up the ghost. Navin Karishka's in support, but Sachit wasn't passing this to anyone.
Terrific stuff, and 2 points for good measure as well to make it 40 points on the board for Police Sports Club. What a brilliant game we've had here. It's just the first semi-final of this Clifford Cup. Key stats on the game: Police scoring 40 points against CR 16, 5 tries for Police, 3 converted, 1 penalty and 1 drop goal from our player of the match, Prince Chamara, whereas CR&FC scored 2 tries with 2 penalties adding on to the mix.
Yes, that first penalty scored by Manuel Rubeiro, when CR took that instead of going to the corner flag, you had to think perhaps how are they approaching this game mentally. Rugby is a physical game, Sudarshana, but more than anything else, it is a mental game, and that toughness is what Police showed today, earning themselves this 40 points to 16 win and a place in the final against the winner of tomorrow's game between CH and Havelocks, which will bring you live from the same venue as well. We'll join you on thepapare.com. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye from all of us here.